Good afternoon and welcome to Queen Mary University of London. My name is Kerry Bevan and I'm an international officer here at Queen Mary. My role is international officer and study abroad officer, so basically what that means is I am the first point of contact for students from the US, and I can advise on both our degree programs and also I can advise students who are interested in the study abroad program. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about Queen Mary, including the kinds of programs that we offer, our location here in London, the facilities that we offer, and this will be an informal session, so please feel free to ask me anything. We have a few slides to get through, so I'll get started. Queen Mary is a medium-sized institution, so first of all we're part of the University of London. If you're not familiar with the University of London, it's a network of 19 plus institutions. So you may have heard of LSE, King's, UCL. These are all institutions which are part of the University of London. And if you include the total population from all of these institutions, it's around 120,000 in total. So within this network, we have 18,000 students and 3,000 staff. We have 3 faculties, humanities and social sciences, medicine and dentistry, and science and engineering. We are a very, very international campus, so on average a third of our students are from overseas, so it's a very cosmopolitan environment. Students from over 140 plus countries. We do have a couple of other campuses in London as well, so we have a separate medical school which is just down the road in Whitechapel, and we have a postgraduate law school as well. We're very special because we actually have a self-contained campus which is in the east part of London. I'll tell you a little bit more about our location in the following slides. But we have over 2,000 rooms on our Mile End campus. So again, that's really unusual to have everything that you need to live and study and socialize in such a central location. We also have a number of scholarships as well, so particularly in science and engineering and law. We do offer a number of bursaries and fee reductions and scholarships. So just a couple more facts and figures for you in numbers. So we have 17,848 students, 3,000 staff. We have over 10,000 British students, over 5,000 international students, and almost 2,000 EU students. Our male-female student ratio is also quite equal. And we receive a number of applications per year from all over the world, and once again you can see the 3 faculties on there. Next slide will give you a little bit more of an indication of our rankings. So we're currently ranked 145th in the world in the latest Times Good University Guide. We're part of the Russell Group, and we're very well known in the UK for the quality of our research. So the research assessment exercise is a ranking of different universities' research in the UK, and you can see that we're ranked number 11. We're ranked 16th in the world and 3rd in the UK for proportion of international students and staff. Ranked 1st in London for student experience, and ranked 1st in London for student accommodation. Over the last couple of years, we have invested a lot of money in our campus, so you can see there over £300 million. And we're also very well known for our employability and graduate starting salaries. So just a kind of reminder of why you should choose us. So the prestige of the University of London, academic quality, research-led learning, a campus lifestyle, and an amazing location. So to tell you a little bit more about our location, we're in the East End of London. So that's very close to the site of the Olympics from last summer. The main stadium and many of the venues of the Olympic Games are just one subway stop away. And we're also very close to the financial district of London, also known as the City of London. And we are equidistant to 2 different tube stations, underground stations, so it's very, very easy to get around all parts of London. So it's 5 minutes walk to both Stepney Green and Mile End stations, and Mile End station to Oxford Circus in the heart of London is just 15 minutes. So it's an amazing location. We are also on the same tube line as Eurostar services as well, so you can be out of bed and in the centre of Paris in around 4 hours. So it's very, very easy to travel both in the UK and Europe. And finally, we have a number of scholarships and fees as well, fee reduction, that is. So I mentioned the University of London a little bit earlier. As you can see, it's 18 colleges and 10 different institutes. There are a number of benefits to a University of London institution. I would say that the main advantage is the brand of the University of London, the reputation, the international respect. It's very well known and respected all around the world. You can see there's a number of institutions mentioned there: UCL, King's, LSE. As I mentioned, these are all University of London institutions. You do have the benefit of some shared resources. So for example, you can see a picture of the Senate House Library in the photo there. That's the main library of the University of London, over 2 million books. There's also access to different libraries and archives, careers centres and sports facilities. The Careers Centre in particular is a fantastic benefit because that's actually one of the largest careers centres in the UK. So they have a number of resources for advising students. And as I mentioned before, it's 120,000 students if you take into account all of the different institutions. So again, why Queen Mary? I've already mentioned this, but just to reiterate: University of London, academic, research, campus, location, and scholarships. These are pictures of some of our buildings around campus. So you can see the top left is one of our big lecture theatres. The top right is the People's Palace. So on our Mile End campus we have a kind of Art Deco venue which is used for graduations, ceremonies, other big events, and it's also used as a theatre and music venue as well. And then the buildings at the bottom, those are of our buildings on the Mile End campus as well. So the one on the left is our history building, which opened last summer. Biological Sciences is in the middle, and then the one on the right bottom is one of our residences. We have 2,000 rooms on the Mile End campus. These are all single study bedrooms, and most students have their own private bathroom as well. It is a very tranquil space, so we are an urban campus, but once you actually step into it, it is quite a quiet space. There aren't any cars because there is just one road on the western part of campus, but apart from that there's no traffic, so it is a quiet space, and we have cafes and restaurants. There's also a gym and a bar and a nightclub, and you can see the Regent's Canal flows through campus, so students often go running and jogging along the side of the canal. Going back to our research, once again we are a research-led university. We are also a member of the Russell Group of universities, which is the group of 24 leading UK universities, and we're 11th in the UK in terms of our research. A couple more of the pictures of our campus buildings there. You can see the one on the top right is our law school. The one on the top left is our Whitechapel campus, where the medical school is, and you can see the bottom left is again the student village, and again the bottom right is our medical school. Just to tell you a little bit about the accommodation that we offer on campus. So we have an award-winning student village. It's won a number of prestigious architecture awards. We've tried to use interesting shapes and colours, so it's architecturally quite attractive to look at. There are a number of different priced category rooms, but on average you would be looking at around £113 to £151 per week with a 38-week contract. You have your own room and your own bathroom, but you will be sharing with around 4 to 9 other students within your apartment. So you would have within an apartment you would have a corridor with your different rooms branching off, and at the end you would have a kitchen and a living area, and that's where you'd be able to socialize and cook. All the buildings are self-catering. We do have a number of food outlets on campus, so if you don't want to cook for yourself, then you can just pay as you go and eat in one of the different cafes or restaurants. We have an Asian restaurant, we have an Italian restaurant, and different coffee shops available as well. We do have a meal plan in operation as well, although actually I should say a meal voucher system. So you can prepay whether you would like to have breakfast or lunch, or breakfast, lunch and dinner, or any combination. So if you don't want to cook all the time, you do have the option of buying this plan, and that allows you to save a little bit of money by prepaying at a discounted rate. So the next slide will give you an idea of some of the services that we offer on campus. So for those students who have some additional needs, we do have a disability and dyslexia service. So students will be entitled to additional services. So for example, a reduced distraction environment for exams in some cases, or additional time in exams, whatever the additional need may be. We have an office that you will be able to discuss those things with. We have a career centre that can offer you advice on mock interviews, job opportunities available, internships, that kind of thing. We have a learning resource centre, so that's our library, where they would have obviously different books and journals and online resources. For students who don't speak English as a first language, we do offer English language and study skills support. We also have, even if you do speak English as a first language, we do also offer academic English, reading and writing support as well, and language support. We have an advice and counselling centre, so staff there can give you information if you need it on immigration, budgeting. There's also trained counsellors there for students if you're going through a difficult transition, or if you feel you need the support of a trained counsellor, then that's a free service, free and confidential service on campus as well. We have a gym and a sports hall. We have numerous shops, cafes and restaurants. Part-time work is available, so most students who study with us will have a Tier 4 student visa, and that allows part-time work, which is 15 hours per week. There's also the Hive and the Student Union, and these are run by the students for students, so they offer a number of different services as well. I've just been asked if there is English language requirement for international students. Yes, there is. We do have a number of qualifications that we accept. Usually for direct entry degree programs, you would need the equivalent of either IELTS 6.5 or IELTS 7, depending on the subject. So most subjects will be IELTS 7 for direct entry, or some departments, for example biological sciences, economics and finance, they are slightly lower. If you're an international student and you haven't quite met the level that you need, we do also offer a summer pre-sessional program as well. So you can arrive either in June, July or August, depending on your level of English, and you can then obviously learn English and practice and get acclimated to London before the start of your main course, which will start from September. So usually the minimum needed is either 5.5 or 6, again depending on the subject. So going back to student life, those are some of the campus facilities that we have. I'll now move on to our student clubs and societies. So we have over 60 sports clubs, including, I think there's a little problem on the slide there. There should be some examples of some of the sports clubs that we have, but if you could just picture all of the main sports, lots of field sports as well, so football, rugby, all the usuals. And then there's also 100 societies as well, so lots of academic societies, special interests. Before we continue, we do have a question about the application process. So if you're applying for an undergraduate program in the UK, all students would apply to a UK university through UCAS, which stands for the UK Colleges and Admissions Service. So you would apply online through UCAS, which is ucas.ac.uk, but all of this information is on our website, and you would be allowed to apply to up to 5 UK universities. So you would upload your application, your transcripts and your references online through UCAS, and you would include a personal statement about why you wish to pursue your particular subject, your background, etc., etc. And then the whole application process is managed through UCAS. So you'll be able to see which institutions have made you an offer, where you haven't been successful, and then you will be able to choose which one you would like to go for. So oftentimes you may be made a conditional offer. So for example, a typical offer that we would ask for is a certain GPA or certain SATs and APs, depending on which subject you're pursuing. And then you will be able to see if you've met those offers, so you would have a firm choice of the institution that you really want to go to, and then an insurance choice as well. So once you've received all of your offers, you then decide which institution you wish to study with. So just going back to social life, we have a very active student union. And as you can see, well, you actually can't see there, but you should be able to, all the examples of the different sports clubs and societies. But because we're actually a campus with over 2,000 students who live on the one site, usually when I go home in the evening, obviously you have a number of students who still live on campus. It's a very vibrant place, there's always something going on. And the student union is fantastic. They have a number of services that they offer students, not just the clubs and societies, but they also act as a support role as well. So if you have questions for them about working or student life or any other aspect of your academic experience, then they can assist you. So once again, kind of a repeat of why to choose us: University of London, quality of research, academic reputation, and location scholarships. Just a little bit about London. So I always have a couple of slides included about what an amazing city London is. So there's always something going on. There's numerous events, endless theatres, restaurants, bars and cinemas and museums. One of my favourite things to do in London, which is free, are the markets, the world famous markets. And Queen Mary in particular is very well served by some of the most famous and historic markets in London. So we're very close to Spitalfields Market in East London, the Columbia Road Flower Market, Brick Lane, amazing markets. It's also a great place to be a student for the discounts. So being a student in London, you can get access to countless discounts for going to the cinema, theatres, different events around London as well. And if you like football, then there are 5 Premiership football teams, loads of other sporting events as well. So it's a fantastic place to be a student. A couple more pictures to give you an indication of where we are. So you can see in the top left, that's an aerial view of our part of London. So the main street is one of the main thoroughfares into London, the Mile End Road. And we're actually called Mile End because in Roman times it's exactly 1 mile from the city of London, the old city walls. The colourful building is our medical school. You can see the building in the middle of it looks like a large cucumber is the gherkin, and then the large pointed building on the left is the Shard, which is the tallest building in Western Europe. As I mentioned earlier, we're close to the site of last summer's Olympics. We're close to the Docklands, which is a mini Manhattan kind of business area. That's where you can see the bottom right, sorry. And we're close to Spitalfields and Brick Lane, so it's a very, very multicultural area of London. Brick Lane is the centre of London's Indian and Bangladeshi community. The next chart, you can see on there where our campus locations are, although it may be a little bit difficult for you to see. So our main campus, as I said, is in East London, equidistant to 2 different tube stations. And then our medical school and our postgraduate law school are a little bit more closer to the very centre of London in Whitechapel and Holborn. We do have a number of scholarships available, and our main scholarship areas are economics and finance, law, mathematical sciences, and these are available for postgraduate students as well. Our tuition fees do vary, so at the moment the undergraduate tuition fee is £12,750 per year, and science and engineering, they're a little bit higher, so they're currently £15,500. We have a number of useful contacts. So you can see qmul.ac.uk is the main website. We also have country-specific advice on our link at qmul.ac.uk/international. So we have a whole page dedicated to resources for US-based students. You can have a look at our accommodation if you take a look at residences.ac.uk. We have a film that you can watch, and if you do have any questions, there's an email address that you can contact us at international-office@qmul.ac.uk. And finally, this is a picture of our most prestigious building. So this is the Queen's Building, which was opened by Queen Victoria in 1887. I've just been asked, is there a higher tuition fee for international students? Yes, there is a slightly higher fee. So the fees that I quoted you, 12,750, those would be the international fees. British students, the fee would be £9,000 per year, so it is slightly higher for international students. Before I finish, there are a couple of things that I didn't touch on. Usually in the UK a degree is 3 years in duration, so it will be 1 year less than North America. And the reason why is in the UK you would specialise earlier on. So you wouldn't have 1 year's worth of liberal arts courses. You would only study your subject. So consequently it's 3 years and not 4 years in duration. And that concludes the presentation. So I'll stay live for just another moment or so, just to stay and answer any further questions if you have any. Okay, well it doesn't look like we have any further questions. So I'd just like to end by saying thank you very much for... Oh, actually we do have a question. Oh, no, it's just a thank you. Thank you very much for attending the presentation today. Again, my name is Kerry Bevan. You'll find my details on the website, and I will be in the text chat room as well for the next couple of hours. So please don't hesitate to get in touch if you have any questions. And best of luck with your studies wherever in the world you end up. Thank you very much.